In this video, we will show you how to get started with our lifecycle management solution for ODI. A full lifecycle management process for developing an application consists of three major blocks. The development process, in our case the development is done in ODI, the versioning of the code by committing it to the version control repository, in our case Subversion, and finally the deployment to the different environments, for example a test, acceptance or production environment. To automate this whole process, RedBridge has developed a dedicated lifecycle management solution for ODI. This solution has been developed in cooperation with the Italian company DNT, which is specialized in ODI solutions. The solution itself consists of three components: the VCR for ODI connector, ensuring the link between ODI and the VCR, Icon ALM, the lifecycle management tool, and the Icon ALM solution phases for ODI. Icon ALM phases are predefined, parameter-driven, packaged, reusable building blocks. Those building blocks allow you to fully automate your lifecycle management process. In this video, we will focus on the installation and configuration of the VCR for ODI connector. The other components will be treated in separate videos, which you can find on our website. The VCR for ODI connector is the link between ODI, your development environment, and Subversion, the version control repository. It allows you to version packages, mappings, interfaces, models and other components. Later on you can restore them back from the VCR into ODI. Note that versioning is just the first step in the LCM process. Our final goal is to achieve a completely automated deploy process. Let's have a look at how to install the first component of our LCM for ODI solution. Before starting the installation procedure, we recommend you to collect the following information: the location of the ODI home directory. Next, for the connection with the ODI repository, you need the class name of the JDBC driver and the URLs for the master and work repositories. You will also need the schema name and password for the master repository and the ODI username and password. Also, make sure that the ODI user has supervisor privileges. To connect to Subversion, you will need the URL of the Subversion repository, the username and password of the Subversion user, and the path to your local work copy. Also important to know is that in order to run the VCR for ODI connector, ODI Studio, the client version of ODI, must be installed on the same workstation as the VCR for ODI client. The VCR for ODI connector runs under Linux and Windows. Depending on the version of ODI you are running, you need to install version 11 or 12. The installation process consists of a few short steps. First, you need to extract the tar or zip file depending on your operating system and specify the value of the ODI home parameter in the execution file. Next, you specify the different parameters to establish the connection with ODI and Subversion. Start your application and you're ready to go. In this video, we will show you how to execute the installation on Linux for ODI version 12. The installation procedure for Windows is exactly the same, except of course that instead of unzipping the tar file, you unzip the zip file, and instead of editing the shell file, you edit the bat file. The installation process should be straightforward. Should you anyway run into problems, do not hesitate to contact us. Now let's start the installation. Go to the LCM for ODI 12 folder and extract the file. Open the extracted folder and go to the bin folder inside the client folder. This folder contains the VCR for ODI shell file. In this file, you need to specify the ODI home directory. Next, open the shell file and after line 27 insert a command specifying the ODI home directory. Save and close the file. Next, you have to specify the different parameters for establishing the connection with ODI and Subversion. There are two ways for doing so: by editing the ODI par XML file or by specifying the parameters via the user interface of the connector. If you prefer editing the ODI par XML file, go to the config folder in the VCR for ODI 12 folder. When you open the file, you will see the different parameters. There are two information blocks, one for the connection with the ODI repository and the other one for the connection with Subversion. Check the default values and adjust them where necessary. When ready, you can launch the application. To do so, go back to the bin folder, open a terminal window and execute the shell file. The VCR for ODI connector will start up. If you didn't edit the ODI par XML file, you now first need to adjust the connection parameters. Click the Properties button to display the configuration details window. In the first section of this window, you enter the username and password of the ODI supervisor user. In the database connection panel, you enter the correct schema name and password of the master repository, the class name of the JDBC driver, which is used to connect to the ODI repository, and the URL path of the master repository. Next, you need to specify the name of the ODI work repository you want to connect to, and finally you specify the parameters for the connection with Subversion, the repository URL, the user ID and password, and the work copy location. When all that's done, you can test the connection before starting the application. In case you modified the ODI par file, this will also be your first action. If the test is successful, save your settings and click the Start button. If you get an error message, you need to verify and correct the parameter values in the Configuration Details window or directly in the ODI par XML file. The VCR for ODI connector is now up and running, and you can proceed with the installation of the following components: Icon ALM and the dedicated ODI solution phases. After having done so, you will be able to enjoy the advantages of fully automated lifecycle management for ODI. For more information on our company and products, we invite you to visit our website. If you would like to discuss any specific requirements, you can always contact one of our ODI specialists or participate in one of our webinars. Every Tuesday of October, we organize 2 webinars, the first one at 10 a.m. and the other one in the evening at 7 p.m. local Belgian time. After the demo, we will take the time to answer any of your questions. Thank you for watching.